VLR.
Texas Senator Ted Cruz is a Republican and our guest tonight. Senator, good to see you. What's it like to be the most hated man in America?
You look beautiful.
Thank you.
Welcome back to the show. Congratulations. Holy moly. Number
so
170 countries. Oh, my goodness.
Yes, thank
You're
you
having
so
a good day today.
I am, besides the fact that I'm catching pneumonia in your studio right now.
It's very cold, but you have to wear clothes when you come on here. That's how you make it warmer.
I asked if I could bring a blanket, and they looked at me like I was crazy, but I was ready to sit there
Probably
and
get you a blanket
do the
and
interview.
cozy up.
Next, news, entertainment, etc. Tonight with Jonathan D. Sangster.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Next. This is Jonathan Sangster. I'm your host, and tonight we have Taylor with us as producer.
Yo and hello. I can actually say that because Liz doesn't like me saying yo and hello, but you see I can
Yo
say
and
it with
hello.
you. It's a Randy Galloway reference, which nobody here gets, but that's okay.
I didn't get it either.
Well, he's a Dallas columnist.
Oh.
No, nobody would get it. Yeah,
Okay.
nobody would get it unless you're. Even people here in Dallas Fort Worth probably wouldn't get it.
Like,
sometimes.
just look at you strangely, or more strangely than normal.
Yeah, exactly. Pretty much.
Well, so I guess one of the big things we've been doing this week is, as I'm doing, taking a look at my bracket.
You did a bracket?
Oh, yes. We did one at work. And I did, I put it online, did a women's one too. I mean, UConn's going to win. That's not a hard choice to pick for women's basketball.
Okay.
Yeah, on my bracket, I've got Michigan State beating San Diego State in the final.
What, for men's?
Yes, for men's.
Oh, okay.
Which is going well so far. But yeah, we're doing it at work, and the prize is, well, there's no official prize, but we're working on it that the prize is going to be a whole pan of cornbread.
Oh. Well.
So I'm excited for that because our cornbread's amazing.
Hey, cornbread is a good thing.
Yeah, and I can save it for get it at a later date. So my friends and I, we have started a tradition a couple years ago where we do a second Thanksgiving in April.
Oh,
and so I'm like, hey, perfect. I'm going to bring cornbread.
Oh, see, there you go.
But yeah, no, it's been fun. Just, it's like the one time I care about basketball, it's the bracket. Don't give me, if I'm not involved in a bracket, I could care less. Put me involved in a bracket, it's competition. I did feel bad for one of our guys. Like, he just fill out the bracket for fun, doesn't know a thing. Well, he had Duke beating Ohio State in the final.
See, I always tend to... Duke always ends up in the Final Four whenever I do stuff.
Yeah.
But I have a reason for it, and that's because my dad graduated there.
Let's see. But
but I didn't do a bracket this year, and I'm okay that I didn't do a bracket this year.
This year, not a good time to pick Duke or Ohio State because they both got taken out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see.
But,
of the ones that are going on right now.
Let's see. Baylor's up 78-49, at least by my latest from NCAA's site.
That's what
And Virginia is up 35-20 at halftime.
Over Memphis.
Arizona is up 13-6 over Gonzaga. Gonzaga is one of those teams that always seems to get there.
And then you don't know and then you don't know what they're going to do, yeah.
But they're always in the playoffs.
Yeah.
I think it's safe to mark Baylor as a win. No.
I hope so.
29 points with 2.5 minutes.
Yeah. I hope so.
That would be an amazing comeback. That would be one of the most amazing comebacks in sports history, in basketball history.
And go Go Baylor Bears.
Yeah.
That's all I have to say. Go Baylor Bears.
I always like it when Baylor and UCLA play each other.
The Bears fake it. No, because
Bears versus the Bruins.
Oh yeah, that's right. And then you have the golden.
Two bear
and then you have
teams,
the golden Bears at Cal.
Yeah, that too. Yeah, I'm just like, yeah. When mascot or teams with the same mascot, basically, I always play each other. I just find it more entertaining.
There was something. I think it was a bowl game where it was Tigers versus Tigers.
That could happen. I mean,
I want to say that it was. It wasn't Auburn because Auburn played in the national championship, but it was. It may have been Missouri versus Clemson.
Oh yeah.
Or something like that, and I just started laughing because it's like, oh hey, you got two tigers there. Which tiger is stronger?
Yeah, no, that just makes it more fun. I always give crap with Jamie Miller on Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
He is a huge St. Louis Cardinals baseball fan, and he's a really huge 49ers fan. Well, so this last postseason when the St. Louis Cardinals were in the playoffs for baseball, I was giving him crap about cheering for the Arizona Cardinals, who he hates. It was like just having fun with the mascots. He'd keep going, go Cardinals. I'm like, you hate them. What are you doing? But, yeah, no. It's fun to tease people with that. Like, I don't think any of my teams... No, my teams all, except for maybe like the college level, all have unique names.
I went to University of North Texas, which was the Mean Green.
Oh yeah.
I'm still trying to figure out what a Mean Green actually is.
The college I went to, well, let's say two of the colleges I went to had mascots. One was the Antelope. Yay, Antelope. The other was the Roadrunners. You know, when Roadrunners is the better of your two mascots, it's sad.
Which one was the Antelope and which one was the Roadrunner?
Metro State in Denver, they're the Roadrunners, and then Grand Canyon University in Phoenix, they're the Antelopes.
They're not the Javelinas?
Nope.
I've had Javelina before, believe it or not.
Oh, yes.
It's not that bad.
Have you had Jackalope?
Yes.
Yeah,
I like Javelina.
As long as you've had Jackalope.
Yes.
But
yes.
No, but it's funny, you know, how with the college basketball is how many people never pay attention to college basketball or the NBA except for during March Madness.
Yeah.
It's like this big thing. It's kind of like the Super Bowl. No, all these people that don't watch football suddenly will watch that. Of course, they might just watch it for the commercials, but they'll watch the Super Bowl.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
so I have
no. I agree with you. I find it. I find it funny when that when that happens.
Yeah, it's just, you know, those moments. Same thing with the World Series. I mean, not to the same degree probably, because most people are either baseball or not baseball. But you know, it's more likely to be watched when it's the playoffs of any sport, really.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, we did have a really sad moment in Mexican football last night. The Chivas were playing Atlas in Guadalajara, where Chivas are from, and it ended up a 1-1 tie at the final, so no win. But the home crowd there started basically a riot against the police because they were jumping up and down, and the police told them to stop jumping up and down, and they won it. So the police tried arresting. Well, the result was some really badly beat up police officers.
Mm-hmm. By the way, for those wondering what Mexican football is, it's soccer.
Football. The world's football. Not the American handball. Okay, how much percentage of an NFL game do they use their feet on the ball?
I know.
1-2%. But yeah, no, I always
just
like to
for
tease
those
people
who
about
don't
that.
know.
Yeah, no, but this is really sad. I mean, well, my kitchen manager at the restaurant I work at, his team is Chivas, and he was really disappointed in the fans of his team for doing this. Because I mean, we'll see it a lot in South America and Central America, where the two fans will start fighting each other, and you have, in some cases, people killed in this. I mean, they'll get pushed off a second level or something, or just beaten. But he was really sad seeing it in Mexico. It's not that common there, like it is further south. But it also reminded me to think of when there's the riots in various places in the U.S. or in Quebec, especially when the Canadians are in the Stanley Cup. I mean, win or lose, there's a riot.
What are you talking about?
Hmm?
Oh, you're talking about okay, sorry. When you said the Canadians, I was thinking the Montreal Canadiens, not a Canadian team.
Well, Montreal, but no. But it's really sad when people go that far in sports, and celebrating their sports. They have to start physical confrontations over it.
Hey, just look at the occasional LA going nuts.
Yeah.
When something happens to...
It's happened in Denver with the Avs in hockey. I mean, there was big worries it would happen with the Super Bowl, but actually the Broncos getting beat as badly as they did helped that because the fans were in such shock. There wasn't a reaction.
I just figured y'all were all stoned.
I don't know. Some of them probably were.
Sorry, did I say that out loud?
No, you didn't. Okay, there you go. Baylor beat Creighton 85-55.
Woohoo! Baylor, the only Texas team surviving.
2 more points on my
Madness.
bracket. Of course, they're going to lose to Wisconsin, but... But yes, no. All right. So that's bracket B. So, I warned you... Well, I didn't warn you. I promised you there was something moment in history that you'd really appreciate. Can you guess what big moment happened March 23rd, 1994 in hockey? So 20 years ago today.
Mike Modano scores his 50th goal for the Dallas Stars?
No idea.
Oh, okay.
I said, I warned you before the show, and it has nothing to do with Texas.
Okay. I have no idea.
The great one. Wayne Gretzky scored his 802nd goal.
Ah.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, so that was 20 years ago today. Gretzky scored his 802nd career goal. I mean, he'd go on to score more, but that was big because it was the new record.
Yeah.
Because he had before then tied Mr. Hockey, Gordie Howe, at 801, who Gordie Howe was Gretzky's idol. He even chose his number 99 based on Gordie Howe's having worn 9.
Yeah.
I mean, but yeah, he both of them, two of the greatest hockey players ever, without doubt. I mean, but just, I mean, Gretzky had, in his third year, had over 200 scores. Not necessarily points, but scores. Or goals, yeah, sorry. But yeah.
You mean he had 200 points?
Yes, sorry, yeah. However, at 10 in one season of Pee Wee hockey, Gretzky scored 378 goals.
Yeah.
Not too bad.
They call him the great one for a reason.
For some very good reasons.
Now,
during his career, he broke 61 records.
Let me ask you this, in something that does have to do with Texas. Why did Mike Modano choose number 9?
I'm gonna guess Gordie Howe.
You would think that. However, no. His father was a big Boston Red Sox fan. And who was playing? And who was his dad's favorite player?
Who was number 9 for the Red Sox?
That would be Ted Williams.
Oh, Ted Williams. Okay. I can respect that, Red Sox.
So that's why he wore number 9. Ted Williams, who was also the first manager of the baseball team in Arlington.
Yes, talk about great player, too.
Not a great manager.
No.
The baseball team in Arlington would be the Texas Rangers, but I don't speak their name right now.
You just did, sorry.
Oh, I know.
I was going to make you. All right. Well, while we're in moments in history...
Not on a regular basis.
You want to guess what other magic moment happened on March 23rd? This one's a little further back, though.
Okay. What magic moment happened?
Well, I'll give you a clue on the year. How's that sound? March 23rd, 1775.
March 23rd, 1775. Was it Liberty or Death by Patrick Henry?
Yes. March 23rd, 1775, in a speech at the Second Virginia Convention, Patrick Henry stated, "Is life so dear or peace so sweet as to be purchased at the price of chains and slavery? Forbid it, Almighty God. I know not what course others may take, but as for me, give me liberty or give me death."
Actually, if you're going to do it, you're going to do it right. It was give me liberty or give me death. That's how he did it. Based on first-hand accounts there. That's how he did it.
Your acting courses are paying off.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, for those who know Patrick Henry, he not only said that, but he was one of the first speakers in the colonies to call for independence.
Yes.
Even in 1765, during the Stamp Act, he stated Caesar had his Brutus, Charles the First his Cromwell, and George III, may he profit by their example.
Yes.
So 10 years later, give me liberty or give me death. Yeah. And then he would eventually, after this war, during and after the war, become Virginia's governor twice. Then for a while led the Anti-Federalists, but then after witnessing the revolution in France, he switched to the Federalist side.
Sort of. That's actually in dispute. That part is actually in dispute. There are those who say that he did it because he saw the French Revolution. There were those who said he did it because he was old and he was just tired of all the fighting that was going on between the Anti-Federalists and or by then it was Jefferson and Hamilton. He just got tired by it. One of the reasons why he did support a Federalist candidate who was running for an office, and I do not remember which office it was, but one of the reasons why he supported it was due to his very close friendship to George Washington. Was one of the reasons why he supported that Federalist candidate.
Yeah.
I had a conversation with Jason Pye from United Liberty about this recently, having read Harlow Unger's book on Patrick Henry. And there is some dispute on whether he really switched sides or whether he was just tired of the fighting and just didn't want to be involved in it anymore. It's probably somewhere in between in that case, but to say he became a staunch Federalist is, I think, overstating it just a little bit. And that's more a shot at historians, not at you.
Oh, yeah. Though it was interesting, he did call for the... he was against the Virginia and Kentucky resolutions, which called for the rights of a state to nullify a federal law.
Yeah.
Considering constitutional. He stated that would only lead to civil war. Which I think is very much what you were saying. Yeah, he was just tired of fighting, but it was interesting, that he considered that the way out of the fighting.
Well, he was so old by then that, and he was and he was one of those guys who, he didn't want fighting. He was old, and he was also like, look, I care about the country. I care about, the U.S.
Yeah. And more important to keep together than to argue this any further.
Right. And, there's there are merits to that. I think that's something that you do see in the... And by the way, before I forget, I'm talking for myself. I'm not talking for Jonathan. I'm not talking for Liz. I'm not talking for my employer, my employees, my parents, my cat, my sisters, the church that I've been going to. Did I get it all covered?
I think you added to it, too.
Yeah, because I added the church.
And your sisters. That was a new one.
But I'm speaking for myself. One of the things that you see, especially in the 2012 election, you saw was the people who were the ones who were the biggest anti-Romney folks, like Dana Lash and Michelle Malkin, who he was not their candidate. Once he won the primary, he became their candidate.
Yeah.
Unless you've got a candidate that's so bad that you're just like, I can't support them, like what Jerry Patterson said in regards to Dan Patrick, where he goes, where she goes, or where he goes, if Dan Patrick is the nominee for lieutenant governor, I'm voting Libertarian. I happen to agree with him on that.
Yeah. I mean, that's one thing I've heard is the whole, we have the primaries for a reason. If you don't like the results, then, well, that's why they're there.
Yeah.
It's because we've had that. That's how Colorado ended up with Governor Hickenlooper, was the Mays won the Republican nomination, and then I'm blanking on his name, Tancredo.
Yeah, but you're forgetting something on that, though. Yeah, but you're forgetting something on that's really important, because I was actually paying attention to that race, which was, it came out that Mays lied on his lied when he was campaigning about his past. He was like, "Oh yeah, I was a detective in this and all that," and the Omaha Police Department was like, "No, you weren't. You're forgetting he lied."
See,
and that was
I've never heard, even though I never heard any bit about that. But in Tancredo, I voted for Hickenlooper over Tancredo if it had been him and Tancredo, because Tancredo's... There's several lovely words I could use to call him.
He's a little nutty sometimes.
Let's just say he's not a good guy.
Yeah. Well, he wanted to. I mean, he was like, he said to Mays, and I remember all this. He said to Mays, "Look, if you drop out, I'll drop out, and we'll let the GOP pick another candidate," because the GOP stopped supporting Mays when all this stuff came out. That they were like, "Yeah, we're not supporting you," and Mays refused to drop out.
But the danger of the split vote, though, being that the other side wins, was my point with that. But no.
And then what I loved was Mays went out after he lost the election. He went out and said, "I blame the Tea Party for not supporting me." And I'm like, and I heard that he said that. I was like, "You idiot! It was your own lying that got you in trouble. You were the one who ran who claimed that you were going to be a Tea Party-esque candidate, and then it turns out that you lied, and then you're going to blame the Tea Party for not supporting you? Show some responsibility, dude.
Yeah, but either way, we ended up with Hickenlooper, and he's done stuff like suspend the death penalty, help push through gun control, stuff like that. And of course, he won't survive another election. He pissed off too many people with both those.
You think so?
The only thing that might help him is that the election wasn't right after that. Had the election been right after that, he would have been gone. Mm-hmm. But it'll definitely help him that there's time passed for the sparkling. Ooh, what's that to go past?
Well, if Kelly Maher has anything to do with it, she won't let folks forget.
Yeah, no, I won't either. And I don't think Galt's girl will if she's back here.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a lot of us here.
And a text message that I got from our boss said, you are not a good actor.
No?
Me.
That's harsh.
No, I'm out of practice, Liz. It's just like my singing. I'm out of practice. I haven't had to act in... Let's see, I'm 34. I haven't had to act since I was 18. So give me a break.
Kit Kat bar?
Actually, yes. But speaking of breaks...
It's time for ours.
Yes.
All right. Well, we'll be back after this.
Here on Vigilant Liberty Radio.
We want to welcome Michael Moore to Occupy Wall Street. I'm so impressed by what I'm seeing here.
How much of people's income do you, Michael Moore, want the government to confiscate?
Probably twice what we're paying right now.
It's not envy, it's war.
Where's the rage? Where's the uprising?
Storm the doors of the New York Stock Exchange.
It is a class war.
If the wealthy paid their fair share.
For a documentary filmmaker, I do really well. I'm very blessed.
And the rich thought poverty was bad.
I do well.
They get rid of it.
What pure? There's nothing pure about capitalism.
And they know what's coming on Wall Street.
We're seeing the end of capitalism. And I say good riddance.
He is one of my favorite capitalists. Yeah, I want to give him a hug.
This is Kevin Jackson of the Black Sphere Radio Show. Listen to Vigilant Liberty Radio.
What's going on in your head? All right. Welcome back, everyone. Had the fun first half hour. Time to get to the more serious news part.
We have
start with Washington. There's a massive mudslide there yesterday morning for Washington, for afternoon for most of us. It swallowed dozen more houses. Mud up to 20 feet came roaring down. 4 people confirmed dead, 8 injured, 18 still missing. The rescue effort's been hampered by the mud that's almost quicksand, so it's swallowing up any of the rescue attempts, basically. And now with continued rainfall, there's worry that the Snohomish River might flood and make things all the worse there.
Yeah.
So definitely prayers and thoughts with people in Snohomish County dealing with that, and the whole area dealing with flooding issues, but definitely that community that's dealing with the mudslide.
Yeah, that's small town Washington. That's not Seattle.
Yeah. Definitely, yeah. It's pictures of it just, there's a hillside of trees gone that just got buried, knocked over by the mud, and the mud kept going. Really sad event, and hopefully those missing are found safe. But prayers that the rescue efforts will be able to get somewhere.
Yeah.
North Korea, as usual, throwing another fit yesterday as well. Threw a series of rockets, 30 in total, into the Sea of Japan. It's the 5th time in the last bit that they've randomly thrown stuff out off their east coast. It's their continued protest against U.S. and South Korea military maneuvers. Didn't come near the maneuvers, but that's their way of going, we don't like this. You should not support our the people we want to rule too.
What do you think is the solution in dealing with Kim Jong-un?
Is there a solution? Well, with his dad, when we joked about whenever his dad would announce there'd be a major announcement, and it could have been, I had pizza to lunch, to I'm about to launch a nuke. You never knew with his dad. With him, he seems a little bit, personally quieter, but he likes to throw stuff around, possibly even more.
He's supposed to be the sane one of the bunch.
Which I guess is why he doesn't bother us with what he had free to eat, unlike all of us in first world countries with social media, I guess.
Oh, come on. Saying I want tacos or I'm going to explode, that's okay.
So maybe his dad was the same. Of course, I always have said everyone is crazy in their own way, so you really want to be the sane one? Because doesn't that what's sane?
Yeah, but the one who wasn't going to, cause might be willing to reach out to the West, might be willing to,
Well, he did. He got Disney. He got, probably blanking his name, basketball player.
Dennis Rodman?
Dennis Rodman, yes. I mean, he reached out to Dennis Rodman. That's reaching out to America, right? Everyone relates to Dennis Rodman.
Yes, I plan on, yes, if and when I get married, I'm going to be the one wearing the dress.
Oh, you've heard it here first, I'm thinking.
And I will be marrying Carmen Electra.
All right.
And then divorcing a couple of days later because they couldn't remember how drunk they were in the middle of that.
Fair enough.
I'm just saying the worm isn't exactly high on the list of people who I would say.
Yeah. No. Just, that's his reaching out, is Dennis Rodman. So, the reaching out, he's still, if anything, he was more technological about how he was going to threaten the U.S. with nuclear war. That series of YouTube videos last year with, wasn't it one of the Texas cities he threatened, and then it was way off on the map or something?
Yeah, I think he threatened Austin. And
wasn't it like Colorado Springs or something that was marked on the map?
I don't remember.
I can't remember either. But yeah, it's like, they're working on it. It's rather hard when you only allow one city in your country to have electricity. Or at night, anyways.
When folks are fighting over toilet paper that gets thrown over the wall.
Yeah. Wait, are we talking about Venezuela or?
No, we're talking North Korea.
Yes, no, same situation there half the time.
Yeah. Have you seen the stuff that Defend Wall Street has been doing, covering the Maduro protests?
No, I don't pay attention to Defend Wall Street much.
He's actually
I haven't paid attention to politics.
He's been doing a pretty good job.
Yeah,
covering just the insanity that's been going on there.
The protests have definitely, they've been, interesting, fun stuff, like lighting Cuban flags on fire, trying to protest them being like Cuba. I think Cubans are insulted probably by being compared more than their flag being burned.
Well, communist country.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, definitely not much going on as far as movement there. I mean, they keep threatening to send in the troops and have, but only to a very limited degree. And so it's mainly kept the protests from solidifying in one place. They just keep moving around parts of the city. Unlike we're in like Ukraine, we saw, basically they occupied Independence Square the whole time, and the police could not get them out. Whereas Venezuela, they can't stay in one place without the military, or at least the police, cracking down on them so hard. So they just keep popping up here, popping up there. Yeah. I think we discussed about it before, how it's going to be a long time till something actually gets done there. But,
well, everyone's focused on our buddy Vlad.
Yes, well, I mean, this week was big in Ukraine. You had Russia formally bringing Crimea into Russia, even though the rest of the world doesn't count. Well, the thousands of Russian troops say it does. But then you've had, over the last week, several incidents of Russian forces, whether Russian-backed militias or the unmarked Russian troops, attacking Ukrainian bases in Crimea, which, for the most part, they've just pointed guns and forced their way through, or they've gone all the way to firing stun grenades and firing live ammunition into the air while they crash vehicles through the gates. So far, we've had one Ukrainian soldier killed in it and about a dozen injured. And every base they've gone into, they've detained the commanders of the base, and the commanders have basically just gone missing at this point.
Yeah.
But
I was trying to get the boss on, but she wasn't answering.
Yes, I saw. But she's ignoring us. She doesn't want to join us like that, apparently. Oh well, suddenly my chat just refreshed itself, and there's a whole lot in there now.
Yeah, all I had to do was say Carmen Electra, and people started talking.
Oh no, like it refreshed itself. It was still back where Liz had joined. And suddenly there's a whole bunch of stuff.
Yes.
But yeah, no, Ukraine, the fears are that Russia's still got all kinds of troops around, and so there's still fears that they'll march into eastern Ukraine now. However, the EU did sign a limited defense treaty with Ukraine earlier this week, so that might keep Russia at bay, because I don't think they're ready to start messing with the rest of the EU, and that means NATO. Because that was part of why they took on Ukraine, was they weren't part of NATO, so they didn't have to worry about the alliances coming into play.
Well, they didn't have any nukes.
Yeah, but yeah. But and then now they're talking about the possibility that Russia might try and force their way through Ukraine to get to Moldova, because part of Moldova is trying to leave now or something.
Did we actually get the boss?
I don't know.
Who, me?
Oh, the boss is here.
And Liz is with us.
Hi, boss lady.
Hello.
How are you doing tonight?
Oh, I'm tired.
I hear you there.
Yeah, well, I'm trying to count up how many hours of on-air time I've had this week, and I can't keep track.
It's either really good or really bad. Probably both.
Really, really bad.
All right, so I had to ask, because we've discussed this with EU making a limited treaty with Ukraine. How do you think that's going to help the situation, Liz? Or will it?
It won't. It won't. The EU is in no position to do any bargaining with Putin. They can't go and do anything to protect Ukraine. So, what the hell difference does it make that they make some sort of diplomatic agreement? Putin decides to take over the rest of Ukraine. That's what's going to happen. Period. And like I said before, Poland goes and cries wolf, so to speak. I don't know that. I don't know that NATO's even going to be able to do anything. I don't know that they're going to bother calling on NATO because after they went and sent Joe Biden, I can't imagine that anybody in Poland thinks that anybody is taking any of this seriously.
Who called Russia naked and exposed to the entire world.
Right.
Yeah.
Really.
Biden's always great at word choice.
Biden is always horrible at everything that he does, and if you're sending Biden, and we know this, everybody knows this, and of course, around here the general statement is yes, Biden is going to run for president, and Obama is going to run as his running mate.
I've said that.
Yeah, you're not the only one who said it. Everybody out here is saying it, and I keep on banging my head against the wall, and I want to hurt you all. Because it's a depressing concept.
And another time when Hillary seems like a good option.
No. No, this is the time when I'm sitting here saying to myself, if we have another situation like we did with Romney, the Republicans deserve to burn. Period. You may as well close up the party and say, screw it all. Just stop. Don't even bother anymore. I don't want to hear it. If I hear a single libertarian say, oh, but Rand Paul, fuck you. Go away. If he doesn't make it to the primary, I don't care. Vote for the fucking Republicans.
Liz, this isn't right war. You can't swear like that.
This is the family show, the network.
I got news for you. It's my station, and I'll say what I want.
Jonathan, what do you think is seeing all this new news about the limited agreement with Ukraine? Do you tend to agree with that or no?
Like I said, I don't know if it will have effect. That's I think they're hoping it is that they'll go, okay, we said we'll do something other than paint a red line, so maybe that'll make them stop. I mean, that's the hope. And again, Putin went after Ukraine so that because he didn't have to worry about even thinking about will they do anything about it. He's probably kicking himself for not jumping on eastern Ukraine already.
Well, I think they're working on that.
But yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's probably kicking himself for not having done so already. I mean, if he had just jumped in all at once, the world would have been gone, hey, Yanukovych is out of power. Oh, Russia's in power. It's not a good situation. I mean, when we're hoping, to use the wolf analogy, when we're hoping the wolf doesn't eat the lamb because he's a nice wolf.
Oh, please.
When that's what we're left with, it's, yeah.
No.
Jayburn in the chat just said Roger Ailes doesn't do that on his station.
Yeah, well, Roger Ailes is also ruled by the FCC, and I'm not.
Yay, freedom.
And I have no doubt if he wasn't ruled by the FCC, guess what? He would.
Yay, freedom.
Seriously, it's insane. I mean, we totally dropped the ball. There should have been major naval assets in the Black Sea by now. We can't even manage to go and play around right with the Malaysians, for God's sake. I mean, seriously, because this is all a game of posturing and bullshit as far as Malaysia is concerned. It is all about pride, trying to find this plane. I'm sorry, but any president with, I don't know, half a level of competency, I mean, we're talking Jimmy Carter here, would have stepped in and said, you know what? You're failing miserably at this stuff. So how about you let the people with the more technology take over? He would have said it nicely, the nice little peanut farmer, but he would have said it. Yeah. And the same thing, I hate to say it at this point, is that I think that even Jimmy Carter would have sailed ships into the Black Sea. Not saying that he would have actually done anything with them. It would have been more like a little kid playing Battleship, but it's better than having nothing.
Agreed, yeah. No, that's the problem is, like I said, we painted a red line, and we're like, okay, we're done. The red lines have worked so well before.
Oh, and speaking of Jimmy Carter, he is now a tinfoil hat person.
Oh, because he said he thought the NSA was spying on him?
No, he thinks Obama is.
Oh.
He thinks the administration is. He is not saying NSA. He is saying the administration.
I'm sure they are.
Whole other... See, I'm sorry. I pay attention to how people say this, particularly when they're former presidents, even when they are idiots like Carter. Pay attention, children. He sits there and says, the administration, implying that Obama would be watching, not the NSA. So what does that tell you? Because this is a man who is still privy to, the presidential reports. He can ask for the intelligence. And I got news for you, no matter how much they'll tell you that they'd say whether or not they take them, the government is not required to tell anybody whether or not a former president receives security briefings. In fact, they could end up being told to lie and have to tell the lie. So, we don't know if Carter sees the security briefings, and even if he didn't want anybody to know that he did, which if he's paranoid about this administration, he doesn't want anybody to know that he does. Wow. Just chomp on that for a little bit, folks. Makes you feel real safe and secure when even the little peanut farmer that's building houses doesn't trust this guy. And is competent enough to understand that it is a bad thing to trust him.
I saw it recently on Google Plus. There was a list, and it was, Obama was the 5th greatest president ever.
Mm-hmm.
George Washington and Lincoln were tied for first. I think it was like 11 presidents are tied for second. 30-some are tied, or not 30-some, 20-some are tied for third. Carter's in 4th, and Obama's the only one left, so he's in 5th.
So basically he's in last place.
Yes.
So the whole 5th place is totally meaningless.
Yes, no, but it was just, otherwise I wouldn't have read it. Obama's the worst president in history. I'd been like, duh. Obama's in 5th. I was like, okay, how'd he get 5th? Because everyone's either he's best or worst.
Yeah. And he definitely is the worst, and contrary to what all the unicorn chasing people think. He's going to go down in history that way. The question is whether or not we're going to see massive war across all of Europe, Asia, and the Middle East in his wake.
You can send all comments to Liz at goldwatergal.com.
Oh, will you stop it?
Liz at goldwatergal.com.
Seriously, I am not the first person to say that either. Seriously. I mean, we're talking about somebody who has caused so much havoc in the geopolitical balance of everything. He has caused so much damage.
Yeah. I just hope he is throughout history the worst president we ever see.
I hope that he's the worst, yeah. But yeah, Hillary, I can't see her as a viable candidate anymore.
Yeah. Like I said, I just hope that's the case. Is we ever have someone worse than Obama?
Well, I just mentioned somebody who would have been worse.
George III?
No, I definitely think Hillary would be...
Secretary of State?
Yes. John Kerry would be worse, too. So pick and choose which Secretary of State you want.
Who is the when Kerry was running for president? Who is the Democrat, the screaming Democrat that was running?
Howard Dean.
Yes.
That was good.
Howard Dean might be an improvement.
I know
At least he would have
Jesse Ventura would be an
worshiping Howard
improvement.
Dean like they worship Obama.
At least Dean would have screamed at Putin while he's painting the red line.
Yeah.
Come on, that scream was terrifying before you laughed at it. But the funny thing was when it happened was actually there was, if you play Civilization, I can't remember if it was 3 or 4, but there was a Hittite war chariot, and when they attacked, it seriously almost made the exact same scream as Howard Dean did. So it was quite entertaining for Sivers. It's like the Hittites are coming. Oh wait, it's Howard Dean.
Run away! Oh wait, no, never mind.
Yeah.
Well, I found out today why everybody should not watch White House Down.
Because they're making the sequel, London. No, wait, no.
No. That's Olympus Has Fallen in London.
Yeah,
that was actually a good movie. Completely
No.
implausible, but still a good movie.
Well, yeah, White House Down, I was ready to, put something through the television screen.
I haven't watched that one yet.
That looked completely uninteresting.
Well, you would be ready to kill something by the end of it.
Why?
Because it panders so severely to the president. They actually made Michelle, seem human and decent for the very small amount of time that they
Again,
had with
this is
lady.
Liz Harrison saying this stuff.
Oh, stop it. Really? And of course, the obligatory, the bad guys had to be, right-wing extremists, white supremacists.
Yes.
And I'm like, all white supremacists are right-wing. Okay. I understand.
KKK, anyone?
Yeah, I know. But, yeah, it was just beyond irritating.
Well, since we're talking Hollywood, I am curious. Jonathan, are you going to go see Noah?
I don't know if I'll go see it, because it's not one I necessarily care if I see it in the big screen or not.
Mm-hmm.
When it comes out on DVD, I'll probably Redbox it. I may just wait till it's in the cheaper theaters here in a couple months or months, depending how long it lasts in theaters, and go see it for $3 instead of $7 to $10.
Yeah.
Though at the same time, I have a couple high school guys I work with, and they want to see it, so we might actually be going to see it this Saturday night if we do stuff Saturday night instead of Wednesday. But I don't know. I did see something about apparently it never mentions God in the movie. Is what I heard.
Okay.
And I'm
hang
like,
on.
that kind of makes it interesting to me.
I can explain this. Okay.
Uh-oh.
I can explain this because I've read the comic book adaptation.
Comic books to the rescue.
Yes.
Okay, the comic book adaptation was written by Aronofsky, so yeah, comic books to the rescue. They don't mention God. They don't say G-O-D, but they call him the creator. Now, when you think about it, from a historical standpoint, there wasn't at the time that Noah was alive. The pre-burning bush, pre-I am. There wasn't a name for God. There wasn't a name for God. So, them calling him the creator kind of makes sense and isn't necessarily disrespectful.
No, it isn't. Yeah, basically, and this goes into certain sects of Judaism. They don't use the term God either.
Yeah.
To this day.
So, that makes a lot more sense to me, because I'm like, okay. Because I was just going, are they just making it Noah had this, hey, I think it's going to rain for a month and a half in a couple whenevers, so I should build a boat. So I was kind of like, how does he get the message? But okay, doing the creator, and that also keeps them from. We didn't make it religious. It could be an alien creator, or
No. It's pretty obvious.
Okay.
Yeah. No. What I think they were doing was trying to avoid being accused of making it a Christian-oriented movie, because like doing it in its time as opposed to looking back on it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and because most cultures have a flood story / myth in their histories that there was this big flood. So they
primarily went from the Bible. I mean, in fact, this was something I was doing a little bit of research on it. Can I promote a column that's going up on goldwatergal.com?
Sure.
Okay. Soon. Is that they use this, when they were talking to the designer, the visual designer for the film, the visual designer was like, oh, I have all these great ideas on how the art can look like. And both Darren Aronofsky and I'm forgetting who his co-writer was, and I feel horrible, said, no. The dimensions are in the Bible. How it looks like is in the Bible. You build it based on this.
Nice.
I mean, that's showing respect for the text. And of course it's over-dramatized. I mean, what do you expect? It's Hollywood.
But yeah, so that makes me actually want to. Yeah, I'll probably go see it in the, like I said, probably in the cheap theater. Most likely is when I'll go see it. Just I do that with most movies. There's very few I'm like, I'm gonna go spend the $10 to go see it opening day.
300 Rise of an Empire, very good.
And say Godzilla when that comes out, I'm going opening night. I'm there for the midnight showing.
Midnight showing.
But we've discussed that before, yeah.
Something we may have to talk that Saturday.
All right.
On a certain show hosted by me. By the way, Liz, your twin brother says if she doesn't say fricker fracker, it doesn't count.
What in the world? What the hell does that mean? Really?
We love you
too. Oh.
Well,
my answer to him is that he can make input on any comments that I make on VLR when he drags his sorry Irish ass to listen.
So, two things I want to hit on real quick before we run out of time. While we're talking movies, for those of you who know Brian Tupper, he wrote a review for my site for the Divergent movie that came out this weekend. He seems pretty happy with it and suggests we go see it. He did warn that for children it might not be appropriate, and he was concerned that the PG-13 rating wasn't strong enough due to the violence and blood. But otherwise, really enjoyed it. And the other news story I want to touch is today, Turkey shot down a Syrian jet that had supposedly entered their airspace, and the pilot ejected and parachuted down into Syria, which puts into debate whether the jet was where it was. At the most, Turkey claims it was a kilometer into Turkey, which, for those of you not used to kilometers, is not far at all. So, Syria has yet to even comment on the incident, so it doesn't look like we'll have an incident, but it's another point where Turkey's going, no, we're not allowing your civil war into our country. And they don't like Syria. But
on what Tupper said, just for the record, the parents that are involved in the whole rating system, they have this funny thing. They seem to not have a problem with violence and blood. It's when you start talking about sex and drugs that they give you the R rating.
Yeah. Well, so, yeah, in language, you're allowed 1 F word per movie. If you do 2, it's an R.
Right.
I mean, it's, they have, in some things like that in language, they have very strict guidelines.
Yeah, and with certain things like you have movies that are period pieces, there's no violence or anything else, but they show the people smoking, it gets an R rating.
Yeah, which makes 0 sense.
Yeah. Let's watch a 50s movie. It's G otherwise.
Yeah. Be sure to be here tomorrow for Alan Bordius's Their Finest Hour. And then we have other stuff debuting soon, don't we, Liz?
I'm not sure when we're having our next debut. Let's just put it this way. New hosts are on the hopper, and they're driving me nuts. So we'll try to get them promoted early as we possibly can, but a lot of it is like really last minute, like earlier today.
Say goodnight, Jonathan. Where can we find you?
You can find me on Tura Radical, TORARADICL, on Twitter, Facebook, Celia, Google+, Pinterest.com.
Pinterest.
Yes, Pinterest.
Bit strips?
No, I have all kinds of stuff. My Pinterest has sports, fashion, cooking, drinking, movies, all kinds of stuff.
That's the buzzer which says we're out of time. Say goodnight, Jonathan.
Y'all have a good night. Thanks for listening. We'll catch you next week.
This show is copyright by VLR Media. All opinions of panelists and guests are their own and may not reflect the opinion of VLR Media, the host, or anyone else.